Like there's a movie that looks like you. You know, she was what's that? An adult. She was rich and so on, but she was so rude.
Yeah.
And then she was cursed to be like a kid again.
Oh.
You know that?
Yeah.
I forgot
know
the
that
title,
movie.
but you look like her.
Isn't it growing up? Isn't it growing up? Something like that.
Oh my gosh.
How do I look like?
It's okay.
Isn't it like too bright?
No. How about here? Can you try the butterfly one?
Oh, these ones.
Yeah.
Like my grandmother. I think I look like my grandmother.
Your grandmother? Your grandmother wears big glasses?
Yeah. Not bad though.
Oh, I think I like that. No, it looks like you're wearing goggles.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. Simple. Simple, right?
No, it's too big.
Oh, okay. Wow. We're not used to this.
Princess.
The things you make me do. I got lost in the mountains.
Uh-huh.
I think like 6 months ago.
Really?
Yeah.
In South Africa?
Yeah. Like I went to sell food to mine diggers. They were digging gold.
Yeah.
So I went to sell food there. Sell them food
Yeah.
to make money.
Yeah.
And then because it was also like against the law, right?
Oh.
So not for us who are selling, the ones that were digging the gold.
Oh.
Yeah. So the police came. The police came, and I'm like, okay, let me just wait here, right? Because they're not gonna arrest me. I'm not stealing. I'm selling,
Yeah.
right? So then the cops started firing,
Oh,
and
really?
then I see everyone running. They are also running, right? So I'm like, no, let me run as well. Don't laugh. So I ran as well,
Okay.
and then I ran because I was like, you know what? If they arrest me, I won't be able to leave the country
Yeah.
because of the criminal record.
Yeah.
So I ran, but before I ran, I was like, let me hide under the car that I came
Okay.
with. And then I'm like, what if the cops come down and just see? And it's like, poof. And I'm like, no, let me run. So I ran, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm not going on top of the mountain. If I go on top of the mountain, it's gonna be very cold for me because I'm always freezing. So I'm like, I'm not going on top of the mountain. And when I go on top of the mountain, there's so many men up there. So it might not be safe for me. Like, what if they rape me or something?
Yeah.
So I was like, oh no, I'll just like, cause like there's a road, right?
Yeah.
And then next to the road is a bush. So I was like, let me just walk the bushes next to the road. Yeah, so I can see the van of the cops leaving, and then when I see a random car, I'll stop that car to like drop me home, or like where I can get like a taxi home. Yo, while I was walking in those bushes, I got lost. The more I walked, the more I got lost.
You were not wearing anything?
Huh?
Like you're not wearing shoes or flip
No,
flop?
I was wearing tackies, training shoes, running shoes, yeah. And then I walked. How I see like I could see like tracks of people walking, and I followed those tracks, but they always take me to one same place 3 times, and then I'm like, yo, okay. And I'm just gonna wait here until someone comes and rescues me.
That's our file. That's not our files.
What is she saying?
Like,
And then so I waited. Like I had like sort of like fish. In my language it's called mcheka. It's like a cloth, but you tie it and wear it like it's a half dress, so you don't make your clothes dirty. Yeah, it's sort of like an apron but a full cover one. Yeah, so I had that one from my grandmother, so I took it and I laid it on the floor, and I just sat like this. I'm like, I'm not gonna sleep, what if someone comes, you see? So I was just sitting like this on the tree, and then I can hear footsteps. I wasn't like totally asleep, but I was trying to sleep though, and there's no network at the mountain. So I hear footsteps, I hear someone coming, and then I see a person passes me. They don't see me, but I saw them. They pass me, so I call them. I'm like, hey, hello. Then he got scared because it's in the dark. So he got scared, and then he took stones and he started throwing me with the stones. And I'm like, hey, no, calm down, I'm a female. And then he's like, oh, you're a female? Oh, I'm so sorry. And then he comes and he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. And then I'm like, oh, you hurt me because you hit me with the stone here. And then he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. He tries to hold my hand. I'm like, oh, the more you hold it, the more painful it is. And then he stops, and then he's like, oh, did you run away from the cops? I'm like, yeah, I ran away from the cops. I'm one of the sellers. I was selling food. And then he said, oh, I'm the one that were digging the gold.
mine.
Yeah. And then I'm like, oh, okay. And then he's like, okay, I'm going like this. Oh, I asked him, I'm like, where are you going? He's like, no, I'm going like this. I'm going back to where the other miners are. And I'm like, where you're going? I already went on those directions. They're gonna bring you back here. So let's wait until the following day in the morning so you can see the road clearly. Because I've also been walking here and it keeps bringing me back here, but I saw there was this lane somewhere, but I was just afraid to use it because I was scared. Yeah, it seems like not so many people have walked or used it. Like, oh, okay. And then we wait, and then he's like, no, let's go and sleep. Like after they dig the gold, right?
Yeah.
So there's like a hole. So he's like, let's go and sleep at that hole. It's more warmer. Yeah. So I'm like, hey, no, man, I'm staying here. You can go and sleep there, right? And then he's like, oh, okay, since you're not going, then I'll just stay here because we might separate or get lost again. lose each other. I'm like, oh, okay. And then next day in the morning,
Yeah.
my phone, obviously, even if when it's battery low, the alarm still rings. So the alarm rang at 5, but I didn't sleep. He slept, and then we wake up, and then we just started walking and walking and walking. So while we were walking, there were men who were like cutting wood
Yeah.
to make fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't hear the sound. I thought it was gunshots. So I'm like, are those is that a gunshot or it's another sound? I don't know what that sound is. Then he's like, no, that is a sound of people cutting wood. Then I'm like, oh, let's go to them because they might know the way. And then we followed that sound, and then we got there, and then we asked assistance from them, and then they showed him the way back to other miners, and then they went with me to where they stay. And then I called my mom because the network that they were using works because they stay there. So I called my mom, and then already my mom was still looking for me and my brother and my cousin and my grandma. Yeah. Like I looked a mess when I went out of that wood. I don't know why I didn't take a picture though. I could have shown. So yeah, and I got sick. Yo, I think maybe because it was also raining. So yeah, so they do it.
No.
It sounds funny, like even the sound. It's like someone is farting. Ish.